ARK Survival Ascended has some of the biggest and baddest dinosaurs you could think of, and some of the most iconic. And I wanted to give some love to the truly iconic three-horned herbivore beast, the Triceratops. So I gave myself a challenge of having just 100 days to take on the island with only the use of Trikes. This video will feature Rampy, the Raptor man himself, who will be doing this challenge with only Raptors, so make sure to check out his video and channel in the description after this one. So let's begin 100 days of only Trikes. Day 1 began in typical fashion as I collected stone, thatch and wood to get myself a stone pickaxe, and I soon ran into trouble as a group of compies attacked and I had to run away. I got safe and began to hit this rock to collect flint to make a stone hatchet, then a spear. Next I made myself some cloth armour to help keep myself safe. The compies from earlier returned as I was now able to kill them and get raw meat to cook up for later. But to do so I needed a small base, so I farmed up some more wood to craft a couple foundations. I then placed a mortar and pestle, storage and a campfire all by the end of day 1. To begin day 2 I killed a dodo to get raw meat which I then spoiled so I could craft narcotics. I collected the narco berries and then hopped onto this rock to look at what was nearby, and I spotted something. There was a trike just wandering about nearby, the perfect start to this trike only 100 days challenge. I ran over and checked its level and it was 75, which wasn't bad at all for my first find. I went back to base and my raw meat had finally spoiled, so I crafted some narcotics and then trank arrows and returned to the trike to knock it out. With the trike down I went back to base to get measure berries and out to make a saddle, and then my very first trike finished taming. The new trike made gathering berries so much easier, which was a massive boost in this 100 days challenge. I went out on a new adventure with my trike and found this open flat land which I wanted to call base. So I began to farm the materials and began crafting the first few foundations. Then I made a couple more forges and collected metal from these river rocks to fill up the forges with metal. I then made a raft and went out on a small trip to only find another trike just down the beach. I went over and spotted it and it had 2 babies with it, which meant all I had to do was just kill the and I would be able to claim them both for myself. This is one of the new features in ARK Survival Ascended if you didn't know. With the trike spotted, I went back to base to collect mine and returned to take out the parent. But it was only now that I realised how OP trikes really were, as I always knew that trikes took reduced damage to the face area when you shot them with like an arrow, but now they took reduced damage from other creatures, as I would do just 68 damage to its face and it would only do 10 to me. So after a long battle, I eventually killed it and was able to claim 2 more trikes to add to my army, where I then brought them back to base so that they could grow up. And by now enough metal had smelted, so I was able to upgrade to metal tools. And I started day 3 by cooking up more food, as every time I logged on to the server, my food had spoiled. I began to build a mini fort on my raft so I could get better materials. I placed storages and forges and headed out with my trike towards Herbivore Island, as this was the closest and most accessible metal point that I could think of. I found the metal on the island, placed it in the forge and then set sail towards the lava cave so that I could run into the entrance and collect crystal from the crystal nodes. On the way back I looted a beaver dam, which the 2 owners then aggroed onto me, and I was able to kill them both before finding a second beaver dam which I looted and got even more cementing paste. I dropped this stuff that I just collected at base and went out again on my trike to try and find another good level one. But the levels that I was finding weren't very good. While I was killing some creatures which were attacking me, I accidentally killed a level 130 raptor, which would have been perfect for Rampy, who at this point was still struggling to find any good levels. I told him what had just happened and he wasn't best pleased about it. I continued my search for a good trike and finally found level 100. I tried to knock it out whilst aggroed onto my trike, but I then spotted an alpha raptor right behind it and I stopped everything and ran for safety. But luckily for me, running to safety meant running into another exact level 100 trike, who this time had a baby with it. I killed the other trikes in the area and then knocked out the level 100 parent. And whilst it was taming, I saw another baby trike running around, so I ran over and claimed it, assuming it was a level 100 baby, but it was level 15. And I didn't exactly want this. So I named it Lost Soldier, gave it some food and wished it well on its adventures, and left it alone. My taming trike finally finished taming and I was then able to claim the baby. With my new 2 trikes I attempted to get the herd back to base, but this is ARK. Get it! Get it! Get it! 330 melee. Why aren't you attacking? What? You? Oh, it's good. The 330 melee, and I'm stuck on the baby. What is happening? No. No, no, no. It's dead. It's dead. It's dead. But both of my trikes are dead. What? As I made my way back to base with just the one trike, I looked out for more. Instead, I found a ringed yellow drop which gave me metal structures which I could be able to scrap to get metal. For some reason on my way back though, I attacked this baryonyx which was quite agile and was able to hit my trike for the full amount as it wasn't able to hit the face. It then called in backup from these terror birds which made everything worse. No. Run, 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 run. I might be dead here, you know. That's annoying. I got back to the area which I just died in and saw the terror bird guarding my body. I waited around and took my chance and sprinted for it. I got my stuff, but the terror birds did see me, so the chase began. I was able to boulder them all one by one and make my escape, but I then ran into a raptor. I bouldered this as well and was able to run away from everything, and I made it back to home safely. On day 8 I found materials from these rocks so that I could get flint and stone to produce spark powder, which I could then combine with charcoal to make gunpowder and then eventually simple ammo for this pistol that I found in a loot drop. I also made myself a set of flak armour, a crossbow and more taming equipment and headed out to find some more trikes to tame. I soon found a level 90 trike which had 2 babies with it, so I took out the parent and then claimed both of the kids. Once they were fully grown, I popped them onto this raft and took them out to search for even more trikes. I got all the way to the western side of the map, where I then headed inland on my own, and was soon reminded of the dangers of going solo as I ran into an alpha raptor. Thankfully it didn't aggro onto me, so I was able to get away. I then found some incredible dinos which would have been great on a regular run, but this was only trikes, so I couldn't even think about taming them. I continued looking for trikes but only found rubbish ones before I got myself stuck in a hole. After jumping and spamming many different buttons, I was able to get myself out. I stole some meat from a body of a raptor which had just been killed and cooked it up as I was desperate need for some food. Whilst I waited, I spotted a level 130 Rex and I so wish I could have tamed it, but I couldn't. I then ran into some raptors which I was able to bowl and get away from, and then some hyenodons tried to kill me, all before I then killed a level 115 raptor, and I'm pretty sure Rampy would have liked to tame that. Oops. After running the entire length of the map, I finally found the jackpot, a max level 150 trike. I immediately shot it with trank arrows to knock it out, and then fed it mojo berries to tame it. But whilst I waited, I had gotten even luckier as a baby level 150 trike wandered up to its sleeping parent, and I was about to get myself not 1 but 2 max level trikes. The big trike then tamed, and I was now able to claim the baby, and I now had 2 trikes. I took the trikes onto the raft and set back off to base with my new prized possessions. I got back to base the following day with my new 2 trikes and immediately took one out to the lower south cave to attempt it, but my trike couldn't fit in the entrance. So I went down on foot. Near the entrance I found a green drop which had some decent loot inside, and then I started to take out the many creatures inside. I jumped off the cliff and used a parachute to avoid the many critters down below. But little did I know that I just jumped into my death warrant, as I ran into the artifact room and got destroyed by the crazy amount of creatures inside. I ran back into the cave, naked and afraid, and ran right straight back into the artifact room to try and get my stuff. But this didn't go well. The spiders would web me and I would get thrown around like a ragdoll. I somehow managed to run down this small chamber and try to get them out of the room, but I soon died. I then went back in and died again. Then again, and once more before deciding to make a shotgun at base to try and kill the creatures instead. I made what little ammo I could afford and ran back in, taking out the spiders, arthropluras and anything else that was inside. I made it to the artifact and was able to collect it, but then got knocked out unconscious by Tanaboa, who for some reason was unable to hit me when I was out, so I was able to wake up and survive, for now. I finally found my body bag with all my loot inside and tried to run out the cave, only to then run into even more creatures, which webbed me, put me unconscious and killed me. I ran in again, got my stuff, but endured a similar fate as I got stuck and killed. At least my stuff was now close to the entrance. As I jumped over the spider, got my stuff, jumped over the spider again and made a run for it, and finally managed to get out the cave with all my loot. On day 14 I went out with my weight trike to get some metal, but the raft would only take us so far, so I had to go on foot. And I was starting to find out just how strong my trikes really were, as I could easily take out 2 Rexes, but they still weren't Microraptor proof. My trip led me to this mountain, which had some metal deposits on it, which I farmed. But soon my trike became encumbered with all the metal, and I wasn't willing to walk it all the way back to base. So instead I placed down some foundations, basic equipment, and after a couple days of building I had this. Having brought over the rest of my trikes over as well, my idea was to build a flat layer on this mountain to cover up the route to the top so nothing could get into my base. And my way in and out would be on this dino hatch gateway. I went out to get fibre and continued to expand the base further. I finished the build by placing water tanks down, as water wasn't really accessible for my new base, and I hoped that these would fill up from the rain. The rain soon came and my water tanks were now able to be filled. As this has worked, I decided to reward myself with a trip to find some more trikes. I got to the river north of the redwoods safe and sound and began to look for some more high level ones. Instead, I ran into a Therizino who didn't take much liking to me, yet I was somehow able to get myself safe in this little cove in the cliff wall. But I wouldn't be safe for much longer, as I ran into an Alpha Raptor who I definitely wouldn't be able to get away from, as it ended up killing me. I returned to get my stuff, only to die to a Carno. I finally got back to base with all my stuff by the next day and began to breed my trikes, as I didn't find any good level trikes out in the wild. And luckily for me it was night time, which meant I could begin hatching them with just the use of a couple campfires. After a while, my both eggs hatched and I claimed them, then began the imprinting process on them. Whilst they grew, I shot at this Alpha Raptor which was next to my base. It got close and I took one of my trikes over to finish the job, and it handled it relatively easily. Next I farmed up some more materials, placed down a whole load of water tanks as I wanted to build a greenhouse to get crops. I built a second floor on my base and placed down the compost bins to get fertilisers, before placing down the crop plots themselves. But I then got word that Rampy wanted to attempt the lava cave together, so I headed out to meet him. But I got to the cave entrance and my trike wouldn't fit in, something which would be an issue with all the caves on the map. So I headed up to Carno Island instead to kill scorpions, to get chitin, to turn into cementing paste. Whilst there, I realised the full strength of my trikes even more, as I was able to rather comfortably kill 2 alpha Carnos, and with the extra levels I tried to see if my trike could fit in the Carno cave. And it could, but it got stuck further in, so I had to leave. Whilst on the island, I looted a couple drops, found more chitin, and found this yellow drop which gave me a whole bunch of metal structures, which I was able to demolish and gather a load of metal from. I returned back to Carno Island Cave with a crossbow and grapple to attempt to get this blue drop that I had spotted earlier. I jumped down and looted it to get this awesome chitin piece of armour. I tried to get out with the grapples, but completely messed up and landed back down in the cave, stuck. I tried to run out, but the mass amount of onyx in this cave made this quite hard to do, and they killed me. With that fail, I left Carno Island with the rest of my stuff. On my way down along the eastern side of the map, I ran into one of Rampy's rafts, decided to stop here. I packed up as much stuff which I could fit onto my trike and made my way inland, but soon realised that my trike was rather slow with all this weight. So I thought of a miraculous plan to travel the map quickly, as I began to build this quite unusual structure. The plan was to jump and parachute back to base, but it wasn't quite tall enough and I did hit the structure build height limit. So I went back on the trike, but soon gave up and ran all the way on foot back to my base, only to then start destroying everything I had, packing it all up and moving to another new base location that was more easily accessible. On my way to my new base, I killed an Alpha Raptor, snakes, and a pack of Raptors before finally making it to the location. I placed down the starter foundations of the base before going to get materials from the local area. I placed down storage, smithies, mortar and pestles, and then went out to farm rocks to make behemoth gates to secure off the base, as well as placing fence foundations, but I needed more stone to complete the project. Once all 3 behemoth gates were down and placed, I made a start on placing large stone walls around the perimeter of the base to finish securing it off. I began upgrading my workstation by wanting a fabricator, and started by making spark powder and getting oil from this trilobite to craft it. I then placed down the forges and combined oil with hide to get gasoline, so that I could power all the electrical stuff. I began breeding my trikes, but soon stopped as I needed more electrics to make the electrical generator and ACs so that I could hatch the eggs. I did need more silica pearls to craft the electronics though, so I went out and collected them, and returned to craft the remaining few. With those crafted, I made the needed ACs and placed them all down and began hatching the trikes that I had just gotten. They hatched, and because this was ARK Survival Ascended, one of the babies began ascending.
If you'll pardon the pun.
With the babies beginning to grow up, I found some berries so that they wouldn't starve, and forgot that the trikes were still breeding, so I got surprised with some more babies. I found that these were the best stats that I had available on my trikes, so I began to hatch breeders with those stats. Whilst they raised, I went on a journey, which soon got interrupted by a pack of raptors. But as I ran out of stamina, I was able to get a good look at one of the levels of those raptors. It was at level 145, something which Rampy would surely be all over. It killed me and I flew back over on a parachute to get my stuff. Once there, I buried the raptor and separated the good one, and tried to bring it back to base for Rampy so that he could tame it. But I ended up running it into a Therizino, which aggroed onto both of us, and it killed the raptor, as I ran away. Once I was far enough away, I looked back and saw only a Therizino, so I assumed the worst had happened and the raptor had just been killed. At base, I took out one of my trikes and took it up to Carno Island to do a bit of loot drop hunting, and stumbled into Carno Cave to look for drops. But it was too full of bats near the entrance, so I quickly left. The reason I was drop hunting so much is that saddle blueprints were going to be so important in this challenge for both Rampy and I. I ended up not finding any good saddle BPs, but I did end up killing these two alpha carnos instead with just one trike. I continued the loot drop hunting well into the next few days, and returned back to base where I was able to destroy these metal structures that I had gotten, which gave me a serious amount of metal ingots. The next day I went out on a trip to restock my stone supplies to make spark powder. Just north of my base is where I headed, as there was a massive amount of rocks that I could get my stone from. But whilst I was there, I spotted a couple trikes which I checked the level. The first was only a level 20, the second one was a max level 150, and I knew I just had to tame this, so I immediately began making arrows to kill the rubbish one. Then I knocked out the max level, and later that night it finished taming and I had a brand new trike to add to my collection. It tamed with really good health stats, so I began breeding it with one of my good melee trikes to combine the stats onto one trike. I soon later hatched the first trike and it had both the better stats in health and melee. Whilst it grew, I saw this blue drop landing nearby and went and looted it, and inside I found my very first trike saddle blueprint, a huge milestone and step in the right direction for this challenge. At base I hatched a female trike with good stats, and was able to begin breeding it for mutations, as I raised up a few female 00s. With my mutation breeding, I keep all the 00 males and females all the same level, which makes spotting mutations so much easier. The first batch didn't have any mutations, so I was forced to kill them. Neither did the second lot. I then took a break and placed down a couple compost bins, as I needed to start farming so I can make sweet veggie cakes later on to heal my boss trikes in fights. Something which I actually started in my old base, but I ended up tearing it down and moving. I then got surprised with a couple trikes which came floating down from the sky, one of which was fully grown. I then started making antidotes, which would be much needed in the caves. The following day I went over to the snow to get oil and silica pearls to make the much needed gas and electronics. At base I combined the oil with hide to make gasoline and began breeding my trikes again, looking for mutations. I soon got one, which had a cool cyan body, but no mutation in the good stats. In the very next batch I got one with an orange body and more importantly a health mutation. Whilst it grew, it then disappeared. But it never died. I soon found it though, about 4 million miles up in the sky, and it seemed that every time that I stood on it, it teleported me up to the very top of the map with it. But the issue was, how would I get him down? I eventually got him down with the help of Rampy and a couple commands, and began the mutation process once again. In the very first batch I got another mutation, one then the health stat again. But whilst this one grew up, I went over to the lava cave as Rampy said he wanted to meet up to do this cave. But I couldn't fit the trike in, so I decided to bring the equipment over to raise up a couple trikes inside. I found an appropriate area in the cave, placed down the stuff and began hatching the eggs. They soon hatched and I was able to claim them and was even able to imprint them as they only wanted to go on walks. Once they were grown, I placed saddles on them and left them in their pen, ready for when we would take on the cave. I gave them some food and then left. Back at base I raised up more trikes and got yet another mutation, but then I had a fully grown trike start attacking my base. One that must have flew up, then grew up, and then fell back on my base and started attacking things when I accidentally hit it. With the third mutated baby fully grown, I continued breeding for more, But my luck was starting to run out now, as I would hatch batch after batch and get nothing. This continued for a while, till I took a break to visit the lava cave to gather crystal, so that I could begin making a greenhouse. But as the rest of the metal smelted at base, I built the greenhouse, replacing the final few pieces before hatching some more mutations.
Another one.
Ooh, look at that one. I had just gotten another 2 mutation, one in the health stat and one in the melee stat this time, as I continued to search for even more. I then saw a drop nearby and looted it, and got myself a Raptor saddle, something which I'd take as Rampy might be interested in taking it. The following day I ramped up preparations for the lava cave, making a shotgun, then spark powder, gunpowder, and turning it into ammo. I collected my best armour and saddles, which I donate to Rampy, and went over to meet him. I do have to say that this cave will be in Rampy's POV, as I forgot to record it.
Raptor army, go! Raptor, go, Owen!
Go on!
Is that 390 damage I'm seeing?
Was that a head? There must be a headshot.
Yeah, that must be you headshotting something. What is this 398?
9 damage to my face.
Yeah, look at my damage!
Despite my trike doing good, not everything was alright with Rampy.
Beastly Raptor, no! No! Oh no, he's gone!
Oh.
He's gone!
No.
Can your trike make it over this?
No, I can drop down and go on the path.
No, you might just... If you get like a charge...
Mate, I'm not risking that. There's lava underneath.
Oh, he's going for it.
I don't think I'm making it.
Go on! Go on, Owen!
I didn't make it. Oh no.
Yeah, to be fair, it could have
But I'm
ended...
down here.
It could have ended a lot worse.
After I fell down, we met up at this yellow drop, which had some okay loot.
300? What is this damage? Why did that say 999?
Wait, who was 9? That wasn't me, was it?
Yeah, it's red. It's not mine. Can we just please bait everything over here? Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you got like a primitive shotgun?
Mm-hmm.
Can't wait for the comments on this YouTube video. Rampy just carried by Owen.
I am carrying you at this point.
Yeah, your dino does about 5 times the damage of mine.
I collected the artifact for myself, and soon later Rampy got one as well before we both left. The following day we both made our way to Carno Island Cave. However, we both weren't going to be doing the cave at the same time this time, as I didn't have a trike that could fit into the cave. So whilst Rampy fought his way down to the artifact, I stayed up at the top and built a small pen to raise up a trike. I placed down the generators and ACs and then threw a couple eggs down to hatch. I claimed the second one as it had the better stats and was able to input it to 100% with just a cuddle, which gave it quite a nice stat boost. And once Rampy had completed the cave, I parked my trike in the pen and we both left, as it felt wrong to do the cave just now as Rampy had just killed everything, so I'll do it another time. I got back to base and immediately began mutation breeding again, getting one in the very first batch. However, it was a female this time, which meant I had to raise it up and then breed it with a 0-0 male to get the mutations transferred over to a male. The next day it was time to go back to Carno Island to take on a cave. I took the trike down that I just raised up and had to be careful not to fall down any of the holes, and began the onslaught of cave mobs. After taking out the final few creatures, I got the artifact, ran back up and had to leave my trike behind as it couldn't make it over the jump on the way out. Back at base I continued to get the mutated female trike stats onto a male, and whilst the male grew I worked on getting a chem bench by making the rest of the polymer needed and then farming stone to craft cementing paste. I got the chem bench and then began mass crafting even more spark powder and turning it into gunpowder, which would then be turned into shotgun ammo before I set off on my trike to do some more caving. I entered the lower south cave on foot and began to take down the many creatures inside. I took out the rest and collected the artifact and quickly ran out. The next cave I take on was the upper south cave, which I wanted to raise a trike inside this time as I remember this being a much tougher cave. I placed the ACs and hatched a trike and waited for it to raise. Once it was done I jumped down with it and began to take on the creatures inside, but I soon ran into an issue, as my trike got stuck much earlier than I ever anticipated, making it practically useless. So I had to do this cave on foot, which started rather well with the help of my shotgun, until I got mega rabies. Once I recovered, I entered the main room and snuck past the bats and grabbed my way into the small tunnel where the artifact lay, and then collected it. On my way out I snuck past those same bats but then ran into some more, which I couldn't get past, and one which gave me mega rabies again. I quickly placed down a bed and let myself die, spawning back in, collected my stuff and continued with the way out. I got back to base, repaired my shotgun and quickly left to do the next cave, which was Central Cave, and I arrived the day after. The cave was too small to bring a trike in, so I went in on foot and used my shotgun. I stopped off at this decent green drop and continued further in. I was able to quickly get the artifact and then ran away from the very few creatures left, and got back to base by the end of the day. With the caving done, I returned to mutations and got another health in the very first batch. But then I went batch after batch after batch without any mutations. This went on for about 2 days and I thought that it might be time to call an end to the mutation hunting. On day 70 I began preparations for the Easy Wars cave by making scuba gear and then sailing over to Rampy to pick him up. And then making our way over to the cave. We swam down with the scuba gear and a dream.
Oh, we've got megalodons on us.
Yeah, sorry, we can actually win megalodons. Megalodons aren't an issue.
Where's the cave entrance?
I don't know. It's a bit harder to see in this one, I always find, than ASE. It's here. It's here on the left, I think.
I thought it was further north.
No, I don't think so. It's here. It's on the left.
Yeah, I've just got the casual 4 sharks on me.
Yeah, no worries, mate. Probably because you went the wrong way. That's what you get. Right, I reckon when we get in, and hopefully you can ditch the sharks, we can get our put a chair down.
We'll go to the bit that's above water on the right hand side.
There's a bit above water in here.
Literally the first step. Because you can go up the left side or the right side.
Oh, yeah, and you got the right. Yeah, I know, but there might be dinos there, mate.
I've got a shotgun.
Yeah, but that's no use in the water, is it?
Well, that's why we swim past them.
It might not be that simple if there's an eel.
There might be an eel on the left side.
Yeah, there might be. But that's why I'm saying get our full stamina back first. I mean, if you've got the stamina to keep going, you've got the stamina to keep going.
What's your stam?
150 and 160.
I got 200.
200 stam.
Oh, do you see that?
What is it?
A yellow drop.
Cheeky yellow drop. Oh, I don't take what's in it. I got a shirt. Oh, win. Oh, win. Oh, win. Run.
Oh!
Oh my
I thought you shouted at me to not take it.
With my first death, I respawned, collected more scuba and went down for round 2. I got past the eels and looted this yellow drop and made it onto the first stand section, where me and Rampy then met up again.
See shark.
Sharks. We can deal with sharks. Eels are the problem, and maybe a big fat Moser as well if we see one of them. Yep, see the sharks. Lots of sharks.
A lot, yeah. I'm not seeing any.
I'm going.
Oh, that's a Moser.
Oh, Moser! I see Moser. Are we going straight for land? Oh, there's so many eels!
Oh!
After another death, I spawned back, entered the cave, got to the land again.
I can see them. They've swam away. They're at the bottom. But I have to swim close to the Moser.
Should we just risk it for a chocky biscuit with
I've
the
risked
Moser?
it. Moser's on me. It's at level 280.
Oh, 699.
On this go, I used a different strategy. I took a trike down with me. I was able to actually get it into the cave, but it didn't last much longer than that.
Go on! You can't hit. Oh,
Yeah,
can
eels.
you hit them?
Yeah, eels did. Oh,
Go on.
He slaughtered them.
He's out of oxygen though.
Oh.
He is currently drowning. Oh wait, please kill this. I'm dead. It's dead. It's dead.
No! Run! It's coming for you! The eel's coming for you!
I thought you said we're quicker than them. We are not quicker.
Oh. Maybe with oxygen points we are.
Oh!
Oh, and you've just kited him into the in the way of us now as well. Down to the bottom of the water. Go down!
Okay, I'm gonna go left. I'll go left. At least there were little tunnels you can go through. Oh. This is not good. Yes, this way.
Oh!
This way. I died.
But using a trike inspired me, so I went back to base, leveled up a spare one that I had with points going into oxygen, stamina and melee, and then sailed back over. By the end of the day I arrived and we entered the cave.
Look at the oh no.
What?
Are you freezing?
Me? Yeah.
It's because we've done it.
Quite a lot.
Yeah, we've done it. It's because it's night. It's minus 21 in there, Owen. We've messed up. We did get out of here.
Nope. Send it.
No. We're going to die. I'm telling you. There's nothing.
My trike's not going to survive getting back up.
It might do. It will do. We've got to turn around.
So we're giving up.
So no. We're going back and waiting for daytime.
Back on the raft, Rampy killed me, as it was the quickest way to heal up. And once it was warm again, we entered the waters and into the cave once more. My trike took on a pack of eels near the entrance, but then ran into more problems.
One behind you. One behind you. Oh, no, it's over.
Go on, trike. Neutral. Get him. Wait, my stuff should be down here.
Oh, and there's an eel. We need to get... Oh, in the trike... Why isn't the trike attacking?
I'll put it on neutral.
Does it not attack under what? We might have to just bait him out. We might just have to make a run for it, Owen.
Go for it. Sorry, trike.
Oh, did you bring grapples?
No. I brought my trike. Let's just swim. Oh, there's a jellyfish right there.
Yeah, there's loads of sharks about to come up as well, by the way. Like a lot of sharks.
What's the play here?
I don't really know, to be honest. The alpha megalodon's the main issue. We could try kite him away.
I see the eels staying high.
There's the Moser, the alpha megalodon, and the eels all at once. All the megalodons are coming after us.
Wait, is the Moser knocked out?
He does look a bit sleepy, to be fair. Oh!
What's his head?
Oh,
Untapped.
This time I brought grapples to get myself out of the water near the Moser, and it worked.
Oh, that's an Arania.
I really wanted you to get webbed up. Oh no.
Why did you have to speak?
Here's the god. The god in action, ladies and gentlemen. Here he is. There's a bat round. You know there's a bat round this corner, right?
Mate, what's that bat going to do to me?
Well, I don't know. Probably kill you when you were webbed, but you got away with it. Just don't get knocked out. Are you going straight? Oh, I don't know about that one.
I literally play for face. There's another alpha. There's another alpha.
Go! Oh, it's a crazy play. Yeah.
How do I get out now?
Yeah, fair play. That was pretty impressive. Well, you got to go around, and you can get it out. You can make out now.
Instead of leaving, I waited for Rampy to get an artifact so that we could leave together, but that quite didn't exactly go to plan.
Look at how bare this room is, guys, since the Rampy masterclass of pulling all the megalodons away.
But if that Moser is knocked out, what knocked it out?
He's not knocked down!
And with Rampy dead, giving up, I tried to make my way out of the cave.
Oh no! Oh, that is not good. That is not good.
It's missed.
It
didn't miss.
It did not miss.
Come on. Go on.
Yeah, this is going to be the hard part. If you can get past this part.
Yeah.
You do realize that's right where the Moser is?
Yeah, I got a second.
I don't think this has helped your case. I really hate to break it to you.
There's the Moser.
No! Oh,
Drink it. Miss. No.
With the cave having defeated us, it was time to go back to the drawing board. The next day I made an indie cooker as I ran out of cooked food before I set off towards the lava cave and cleared out the onyx with one of the spare trikes that I'd left in there. The reason I was here was to farm as many obsidian rocks as possible, so that I could make hard polymer back at base to make even more scuba gear. I spent a couple days in the cave farming all the rocks that I could see and ferrying it out to my trike, and I soon returned back to base with a hefty haul. I turned it all into polymer before heading out to the redwoods and building a small structure up to these beehives to get honey. I needed the honey to make sweet veggie cakes, which would be needed to heal my trikes in the boss fights. But it turns out stealing honey from 2 hives was quite a difficult task, as they almost killed me and kept throwing me off my trike, yet somehow I was able to survive and managed to kill them all with very little health remaining. I returned back to base. I farmed stimberries to make stimulant, the final ingredient needed to begin making the veggie cakes. Whilst they crafted, I went up to the mountain with a trike to get some much more needed metal, as my supplies had run out. Back at base I continued to try and get more mutations, but luck wasn't on my side, as I seemed to get none. But then Rampy told me something which I needed to see, so I headed out on my trike to the lower south cave, which is where he was, and entered on foot. I ran into the green drop near the entrance, which had an Ascendant trike saddle blueprint waiting for me, something which was absolutely massive and so important in this trike only challenge. This gave me so much confidence going into the boss fights now. Even the mats needed weren't too bad, but the hide was kinda high. I then headed out killing absolutely anything and everything that I came into contact with. The bigger the better, as the larger the dino the more hide it would drop, and I needed quite a lot. With the hide run over, I crafted some more grapples and scuba gear, as it was now time to reattempt the water cave. I swam down with some gear, got past the eels without aggroing and into the main room, where I used my grapples to get past the water. On land I ran past the Aranios and Spider, and jumped onto the water into the final room, which was still absolutely full of sharks and more importantly the eels, which we couldn't outswim. Because it was so full I grappled out, but still managed to get stunned by one of the eels. We then worked together to go on sacrifice runs to draw the aggro and get them out of the main room. And well, we died a lot. Once we got the eels far enough away, I went for it. I jumped in the water trying to get the artifact. I got it, but it turns out we missed an eel who stunned me and then killed me. I spawned on a beach this time and brought down a bunch of weapons and sleeping bags so that we could kill the creatures, but I died before I got to the artifact room. Luckily Rampy met me halfway, as he was able to retrieve my loot after I died. We went on a few more sacrifice runs and I managed to do really well and get the eels quite far away, and with that I went for the artifact. I went for it, I collected it, and now I just had to get out, but then I saw more eels. And as Rampy laughed at me, I was able to swim my way past them and out with the artifact in my possession. But then I died. To an eel, despite being out of the water. I spawned back in and collected the weapons I just brought down to try and take out this eel, but I ran out of bullets. But whilst I did that, Rampy managed to grab himself an artifact and was able to swim onto the other side of me. He then used his crossbow to kill the eel and I was able to get my stuff back. I collected the rest of my stuff, which was further up, and we both attempted to leave the cave, but I only had 3 grapples, one of which I now had to give to Rampy as he had none. Things weren't looking good.
Oh no.
Especially when we made it to the water section and Rampy missed his first grapple shot. So I gave him my last spare grapple and we both now only had 1 grapple and a dream. Things only got worse though, as the temperature plummeted and we were slowly dying. With time against us, I went for it. I jumped in the water and I tried to use my grapple to get over, but I missed my shot as well, and was forced to swim the whole way. Luckily the Moser never aggroed onto me though, and I was able to make it to the halfway point, but Rampy didn't quite have the same luck as me as he got killed. I dropped my stuff and placed his sleeping bag down, and went to help him get his stuff by taking the aggro of the creatures. Once he did that, I did a sacrifice run to clear out the entrance, and then it was finally time to make our way out of the water cave with the artifact in my possession. I got past the eels without a problem, and then past a couple megalodons and out of the entrance where there was actually an alpha megalodon waiting for me, and onto the raft with my artifact and set off back to base. The following day I placed down another smithy, which I'd used to craft the trike saddles which I had. I then went out to gather the remaining fibre needed and also crafted a couple mind wipe tonics that I'd use later. Next I did a final trip to get all the wood before one last killing run to get as much hide as possible. With all the materials collected, I drank a mind wipe tonic and put every single stat point into the crafting skill. And with that done, I began to craft all the saddles. I ended up making 12 because I had extra materials and because 2 of the saddles I crafted didn't get the greatest crafting skill bonus. and this is what I ended up with my best saddle being one that had 120.1 armor. I drank the second mind wipe I made and put all my stats back to what they should be, and then began hatching more trikes, this time combining the best colours, which were the red body and the blue back. Once I got one with the correct colours, I bred that to a trike with my best stats to combine the colours with the best stats onto one single trike. Then I raised the male version of this so that I could start breeding the trikes together to create my boss fighting army. I started breeding them and then hatching and claiming the eggs, naming them boss trike 1, 2, 3 and so forth. And by the end of the next day I hatched up the final 10 boss trikes and let them grow. I was only taking 10 as the limit for boss arenas is 20 and Rampy will be taking 10 of his raptors with him. Once all 10 were grown, it was time to start leveling them, which I did by killing many baby trikes. And after a few days of leveling them, these were the stats that I had: 12.5k health and around 750 to 800% melee. Next, all I had to do was build a raft, place a bunch of foundations and ceilings on it, and move my trikes over to the obelisk, ready for transport. Before leaving, I made a shotgun and ammo and then set off towards the red obelisk, which is where we would be summoning the bosses. Just ignore the front 2 trikes flying up. I really had no clue what caused this, and it happened to 2 more later on, but I was able to get them all down using commands to fly up. It was quite an annoying bug to encounter, and at one point my entire raft structures disappeared, which was really weird. I eventually picked up Rampy as another trike ascended up to the sky and set off towards the red orb, arriving later that day. I then brought all the trikes up to the obelisk and gave them all some sweet veggie cakes to help them heal, should they lose much health. And it was go time.
Oh, right. Where's Low Chub?
Get it.
I'm a bit stuck.
My boys are in.
Mine are about to be.
Go on, boys. Go on.
Yes. Go Raptors, go.
Hit it. They're not hitting it.
Go Raptors.
Mate, they're not hitting it.
What do you mean they're not hitting it?
Now they are. Now they are.
It's all right. The Raptors are in. Oh, look at the damage. The Raptors are actually doing good damage. 200 damage on the Raptors. Oh no, maybe more like 85. And my Raptors not
taking?
I don't know. I don't know if my Raptors are not hitting it.
I'm not sure my trikes are.
No, I can see loads of 200 damage.
Now they are.
Right, hang on. I need to bring the Raptors around the back, Owen.
Yeah. I'm not sure if you're seeing the numbers my trikes are taking, but I'm seeing some take 1 damage.
1 damage?
I'm seeing 6 and 1.
Go Raptors, go! Alright, Raptors appear to be now doing damage, I think.
Yeah.
These spiders hurt a bit. Actually, no, they don't. No, I don't think they do, actually. Alright, Raptors doing damage now. It's 55 damage. Is this a joke, Raptors? 77. My Raptors do, because we're just killing the spiders at the back. Because I mean, it's good levels.
I just realised an issue with my trikes. Some of them might get encumbered really quickly.
This boss fight's taken us a bit longer than I thought, to be fair. I think the health should be okay. We're just tanking the spiders at the back. That's the issue, which is still level 500. Thank you very much for the gifted sub. Thanks so much for the tier 1 as well, my friend. Appreciate it. Did you pack buff? There we go. There's latest pack buff. We're in. We're in. Go on, Raptors. Oh, the Raptors are in there now. I think they're all in there in the brood mother.
Yeah.
You can just get under the brood mother with the Raptors now. Like, I don't know if they can hit you. Okay, yeah. I mean, this is an easy dub.
Oh, don't speak too soon.
Nah, it's an easy dub. It's an easy dub. My Raptors have lost a bit of health, I think, but nothing too crazy.
The trike I'm on, I've only lost 1,000 health.
I've lost 2,000 on the Raptor I'm on. Owen is not carrying Rampy. Do not believe such words. What's the health? Almost done. Almost done.
On.
Let's go.
Let's go. Easy W.
With the broodmother defeated, we quickly healed up our dinos and went in for the Megapithecus.
I'm cold, but not freezing.
I'm not. I'm normal.
You're not even... Right, thank you. Yep, you get my truck. Where is Lotrab the Raptor? Here he is. Lotrab 23. Right, Raptors. Are we bringing it? I'm going to bring my Raptors back a little bit.
10 Raptors.
Yeah. I think. Where the Raptors gone? Oh, no, I think they are all here.
Huh.
1, 2... Yeah, I generally think they are.
1, 2, 3,
Yeah,
4,
they are.
5,
It's just
6,
because 10
7,
Raptors
8.
doesn't look very much.
Yeah, sure.
Right, I'm just going to go and show the monkey my ascendant long neck and see what he thinks of that. Where are you, Mr. Monkey? Oh. Ready, ready. Bang! He's not happy. He's not a happy man. Or a happy monkey.
He's going to be even less happier when he sees my Trikes.
Monkey, come on. He wants another one, I think, ladies and gentlemen. Uh-oh. One more. Headshot. I think I might have just missed him.
How did you miss?
I don't know. What are you hitting him with?
A shotgun. How much damage did they do?
Oh, Raptors, Raptors, no,
Get him,
Raptors,
Bull.
Raptors, no. All right, let's go, Raptors. We're going round the back. Get him, Raptors.
My Trike.
Uh-oh. This might be a bit more problem.
Whoa, look at my damage. I'm seeing 1,000.
Why are you only taking like 1 damage? Go on, Raptors. Oh, wow, we're kind of melting him.
Yeah, it does do knockback to my Trikes, though.
Did I just see 1,000 damage?
Yeah, that's from my Trike.
What, you're doing 1,000 damage to him?
No, I think... Oh, I just got smashed. No, I think that's a headshot onto one of the monkeys. The small ones.
Oh, yeah, okay. Go, Raptors, go. Well, I'm doing a massive 97 damage, so, you know. Raptors do attack quicker, though. Just saying. Oh, pack bonus. Oh, yes. What was the poll? Will anything die?
Yeah.
The Raptors are
Why have you
looking
lost
at...
on that?
No, they're looking a tad bloody, but a lot less bloody than him. They're looking good, actually, you know. He does about 105 damage, I think, when he hits the Raptors. He does 8 damage to your Trikes. This is just crazy. You might have just found the meta.
Yeah. Bro, imagine max mutated Trikes.
I mean, the thing is, the damage, the health and like the damage is not great. Considering, I mean, so I know it's more than the Raptors and stuff, but you've got fair. Well, I don't know what your base points damage are. Right, come on. Almost done. As long as we don't get flung off the cliff now, we're good. I'm in there for the final hit. Oh, no, your Trikes are blocking me off.
Oh.
Easy stuff. Oh, Owen's got to the loot first.
Wait, I'm stuck. I got stuck.
Sucker. Oh, yeah, that's what... Oh, yeah, if I got my torch out, I wasn't cold either. That makes sense. All right, nice. Nothing died, right?
Massive W. Not for me. I don't think so.
My tri-block's just me slaughtering baby raptors to level creatures.
As the 100th day ends, this challenge comes to an end. It turns out that Trikes are more than capable of taking on the island's biggest tests, but now the question is, can Trikes take on the Dragon, the Tech Cave, and the biggest boss of them all, the Overseer? Find out in the 200 days video, which will be coming next, where me and Rampy will continue this journey with our retrospective creatures to truly conquer the island. And before I end the video, I just want to say a big thank you to anyone who's watched this video, my previous video, as the support has been immense. and I'm almost close to hitting 10k, which I want to hit before the end of the year. So please make sure to subscribe, comment and leave a like, as it really does help me out, and I'll see you in the next one.